Located just west of Main Street, Ann Arbor, the neighborhoods of Wildwood, Eberwhite, and the historic Old West Side afford residents easy access to all the city has to offer, while remaining distinctive in their charm and aesthetic, boasting some of the city's most lovely streetscapes and historic homes.
I think this whole area has a certain feel about it.
Yeah.
People talk about themselves as lifers.
Yeah.
They move in and they stay here for life. And really that's what drove our whole idea of putting an addition onto the house, because we love the neighborhood so much we didn't want to leave.
We felt like this was our spot.
Right, right.
With young kids, it wasn't going to get any better than right here, you know.
I think most of the homes started off pretty modest, 700 square feet to maybe 1,400 square feet, my guess. There's still a lot of houses that remain in their original stature, I guess.
Yeah.
But then I think, referring back to these lifers, people then just kind of added onto them. So it's a nice variety. It's a nice variety of architecture. It's not all the same looking house.
The houses were built from, you know, the 1920s through the 1950s, and in sort of staggered fashion, you know, so you don't always have multiple houses that were built at the same time that are right next to each other, which is really interesting.
This whole area used to be a big peony garden. And so there are tons of peonies that come up, and they're all native to the original farm/garden, and they're beautiful. So if you walk around the neighborhood, there's tons of big peony plants.
We both live or work either in downtown or near downtown. And so being, you know, the neighborhood is close enough that we can walk, bus, bike. Our lives are built around living in such a convenient neighborhood.
We can walk to the stadium. We've walked to games at the stadium. We've walked to the Dalai Lama was speaking at Chrysler, which we walked to. And Pioneer High School. You can walk to Pioneer High School easily.
You know, with the daycare center down the street and Eberwhite Elementary School just around the corner here, and the middle school, Slauson Middle School, down a few blocks, it is primed for families to live here.
The elementary school at Halloween will do a parade around the block, and so they'll leave from the front of the elementary school and walk up this street, and they'll all be in their costumes. And then the neighbors will come out and cheer them on, and it's really sweet. There's sidewalks throughout.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful. I mean, almost every night after dinner, we take a walk around the block, and it's a social hour. I mean, takes an hour to get around the block, and we stop at least half the neighbors and say hello, and the kids run up and ring their doorbells and say hello, and half the time more kids join the walk, and we end up at the end with a big gang. Yeah, it's super fun. Yeah. It's really fun.
Thanks for watching this Reinhardt Neighborhood Spotlight. To learn more about the Charles Reinhardt Company, visit us at reinhardtrealtors.com. And if you'd like more information about the city of Ann Arbor and many of its great neighborhoods, feel free to click either of the links below. Thanks again.